this is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.
With no fees or minimums on checking accounts, it's no wonder that Capital One Bank Guy is so passionate about banking with Capital One. If he were here, he wouldn't just tell you about no fees or minimums. He'd also tell you about how Capital One cafes are open 7 days a week to assist with your banking needs. Yep, even on weekends. It's pretty much all he talks about, in a good way. What's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bankguy. Capital One N.A., member FDIC.
Brought to you by the Spam brand. I'm about to drop some sizzling hot knowledge, everybody. Did you know there's a blue can loved around the world with festivals dedicated to it? That's right, it's Spam Classic. The cultural icon went from fueling the world in the 1930s to earning its own museum. And today there are 12 mouth-watering varieties like teriyaki and Korean barbecue flavored, plus the original Spam Classic, ready to fry up in your favorite dish. Fans everywhere, keep sizzling it up, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Spam brand, sizzle pork, and Learn more at spam.com.
Welcome to Stuff You Should Know from HowStuffWorks.com.
Hey, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Josh Clark, and that's Charles W. Chuck Bryant, and Jerry's over there, and this is Stuff You Should Know, podcast.
NPR edition?
No. Bob Ross edition.
Oh, man.
There's a documentary out about him.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, but I will for sure.
Oh, speaking of,
Can't wait.
I saw Bloodsport for the first time in my life the other week.
The movie?
Yes. Have you seen it?
No.
Oh, Chuck.
I mean, I saw parts of it, but
I
it's not my
loved
bag.
every second of that movie. It was so great. They basically made a movie to show that Jean-Claude Van Damme can do, like, crazy splits. They made a movie for that.
Yeah, the only version I would watch of that would be, like, the Riff Tracks version.
You don't even need riff tracks.
Yeah, but they make everything better.
Sure, of course they do. But I would love to see a riff tracks Bloodsport. I'm just saying, it's a pretty great movie worth seeing, yeah. The bad guy in it is just terrifying, because he's, like, so clearly insane.
Oh, really?
And, like, dangerous. Yeah, like, this guy is operating on a level no one else in the movie, including, surprisingly, Ogre from Revenge of the Nerds, is operating on.
He's in it?
Yeah.
Wow.
He's the trusty sidekick.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened to Jean-Claude?
He's still around. I think he's all over, like, Twitter.
Well, that doesn't surprise me.
Yeah. I think he, like, a couple times a day he tweets like, hey, it's me, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Remember?
Yeah.
Well, he had that big commercial that was out not too long ago.
I didn't see that one.
Where he did a split between, like, two trucks or something. Like with one leg on each truck, like driving down the road.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Oh, he's reading his Kindle? Is it a Kindle ad?
I think so. And I think, I didn't see him, but he's got to be in one of those dumb, what are the movies with all the people with Schwarzenegger and Bruce Willis and,
The Last Temptation of Christ.
Yeah, he's in one of those movies.
Red.
No.
The Expendables.
Yes. He's got to be in one of those, right?
Probably.
He would literally be the only person of that ilk not in those movies.
I hope he is.
Yeah, me too.
I saw Red the other day for the first time too. That's pretty entertaining.
Was it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I haven't seen those either.
All right.
Some stuff just, yeah.
Let's get serious, Chuck.
All right.
Yeah. Okay. Are you ready?
We talked about Jean-Claude Van Damme, and that can only mean one thing. Gettysburg Address.
Right. That's right, man.
Here's
a better question.
Okay.
You saw Lincoln, didn't you?
I did.
I didn't.
Oh, you didn't?
I know enough to know why we're talking like this, though.
Supposedly that is an accurate depiction of Abraham Lincoln's speaking voice.
Yeah, I read this article in The Atlantic. It was one of those things where the guy who's writing the book, like, writes a long draft of the book, but in article form.
Yeah.
And they publish it, and the Words That Remade America is the name of the article and the book by a guy named Gary Wills. And he says, like, Abraham Lincoln was a tenor.
Yeah.
Who had a voice that you could very easily describe as shrill.
Yeah. I remember when I saw the first trailer for the Lincoln movie, I think like most people, like the internet kind of blew up the next day with, like, what is going on with Daniel Day-Lewis?
Hey guys, I'm Abraham Lincoln.
So you did not see it?
Not yet. I intend to.
You know, here was my deal. I thought it was quite dull. And And I went into it expecting a bit more of a profile on Abraham Lincoln's life.
Isn't it more like about a 2-week period or something?
It's really about trying to get the
Emancipation Proclamation?
No, it's trying to get a vote passed. I just can't remember the exact amendment or whatever. That shows how much I was checked out.
The 13th? 14th?
It was a very, very in-depth look at the process of passing like legislation.
I see.
It was kind of dull. Then that's just me. I was like, where's all the action?
Yeah. Where's that shootout that Abraham Lincoln
I want him running around with a sword, freeing slaves.
Right. I think that's Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter that you'd like.
I probably should have seen that one instead. But I mean, Daniel Day-Lewis is great. It was just a little dull for my taste.
I see. So
I'm in the minority, probably.
But this was just like sliding on an old suit then, reading this article, right? Like you're familiar with all this?
An old boring suit. A little bit, and I want to be a Civil War buff. I keep trying to work myself into it.
Yeah.
Like reading, I got a book given to me, one of those big, huge books.
They all are.
Oh, and I just can't quite crack it.
Huh. Have you tried World War II? Maybe that's more your fancy.
No, I need to buff it up.
I see.
You know?
Civil War buff.
Because
are you gonna recreate stuff?
No, although I did just see, I did a hike at Sweetwater Creek State Park this weekend, and they were, I didn't know it was a deal. I was walking down the wooded path, and there was a camp with a bunch of, Union soldiers and their ladies in authentic garb sitting around the campfire. And I was like, what's going on? Like, cause it wasn't a big reenactment, like a big battle thing.
It was just a Saturday night.
I don't know, man. They were looked like they were just camping in period costume.
Maybe they had practice that day.
Maybe.
That's weird.
I thought it was interesting they were Union soldiers too.
Did they pretend you were a time traveler?
They did. I showed them my iPhone.
And they were like, what? Devil's magic
I
is
did.
this?
Anyway, it was just weird.
Well, let's talk about, let me ask you this. Okay. I have another question. Did you have to memorize the Gettysburg Address? Because this article on the site basically says that all students had to, and I don't know that that's true. I don't know anybody who had to memorize the Gettysburg Address.
No, we had to remember a part of Caesar's address for English class. I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him, blah, 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 that whole deal. Friends, Romans, countrymen.
Sure.
I memorized that in high school.
Did you have to, or did you just do it on your own?
Yeah, I was just bored. It was like, I was playing basketball one day, decided to stop and...
I'm trying to think what I had to memorize.
No, I had to memorize that, which, now that I'm older, I think that is, like, what a terrible way to teach.
It is.
Like, memorize these words only. Right. Like,
they'll have no meaning for you whatsoever.
No, we weren't taught what the thing meant, really. It was just like, recite this.
I had to memorize the song Surrey with the Fringe on Top for a transportation play in 6th grade.
Really? Chicks and geese and...
Chicks and ducks and geese better scurry when I take you out in Missouri. When I take you out in Missouri with the fringe on top.
Very nice.
I was not expecting that in this episode. Jerry's over here just snickering.
It's because we haven't started yet.
All right. So the Gettysburg Address is a surprisingly small document. That's one of the reasons why apparently school children have to memorize it, because it's just short.
Yeah.
But it would not be hyperbolic to say that it changed the tone of American politics forever.
Yeah.
From this very short speech that Abraham Lincoln gave on the Gettysburg battlefield when it was being dedicated as a national cemetery.
Yeah, so let's talk a bit about the background. What was going on that day in November was, like you said, we're going to open up this brand new national cemetery in Pennsylvania where so many people died at the Battle of Gettysburg.
Yeah, and a lot of them died.
Yeah, from July 1st to July 3rd, 1863, Robert E. Lee and the Confederate Army butted heads with the Army of the Potomac. I think there were soldiers from like Ohio, New York, a couple of other states. It was a lot of troops under General George Meade. He was a new general at the time, southwest of Harrisburg.
Yeah. It was like it might have been the first battle fought in the North
Yeah, there weren't a lot of northern battles.
No.
Do you ever read the Confederate markers here in Atlanta?
Here or there.
They're all over the place.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of weird sometimes, like to drive a mile from my house and see like, well, this is where so-and-so pushed back an army of 1,000.
Right.
Like right where this playground is.
Yeah.
It's just very strange. I
They're
try to
all
read a
over,
lot.
like every 10 feet, there's one down here.
Yeah. But like you said, not a lot of battles up north. This was one of the key battles that really swung the tide in favor of the North, and it was one of the bloodiest affairs in American history for sure.
Maybe human history.
Really?
I'm sure it was up there. It was probably beaten by some World War II battles for sure, but this is probably still up there with one of them.
Yeah,
I think the Civil War had the highest casualties of any war, or it was the first. When the Civil War took place, it had more casualties than all other preceding wars put together. Some nutso statistic like that.
I'm really curious what the trajectory of the country would have been had that not happened, especially the
Civil
South.
War?
Yeah.
It probably would have just been two different countries.
You think?
It would have been, I mean, the South was just like, we're seceding, and the North has said, no, you're not. And had the North just been like, all right, good luck, it would have just been two different countries.
I think, go back even further, and what if it was just a unified country from the beginning? Like, what would the American South be like if they never would have been like, we're seceding? What if it was truly a United States?
I don't know, because when you ask that question, you're asking like, could the issue of slavery, this huge divisive issue that people really felt strongly on either side, and in the center too, there were pretty strong feelings. Like, could it have been resolved in any other way besides war?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's a great question. I'll bet there's historians out there who've tried to figure it out.
Well, it always cracks me up too when you hear people in the South still say like, it was about states' rights.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, states' rights to own slaves.
Exactly. Or they call it the War of Northern Aggression.
Yeah. I mean, there was obviously more to it than slavery, but you're fooling yourself if you don't think that was the key driving component.
It definitely was.
Anyway, so Robert E. Lee goes up against the Army of the Potomac. There were, and of course the range, is estimated, but 23,000 dead Union casualties.
Which is a quarter of the Union Army.
1/4.
Not just the people who were fighting in Gettysburg, the whole Union Army. A quarter of them died.
28,000 Confederates.
Which is a third of the Confederate Army.
Incredible. And this is over, I did some calculations. This is over 3 days. That is every 5 seconds someone dying.
But that's if the battle raged for every second of 72 straight hours.
Yeah. Which obviously it didn't.
No. But every 5 seconds somebody died.
Isn't that crazy? Yeah. 700 men per hour. And then the first 2 days, 35,000 died in the first 2 days. So that was like the bloodiest 2 days of any American conflict.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken.
So it was a big deal. And it was not just a big deal in the number of casualties. It was a big deal in the fact that the North won this battle, that it was a Northern battle. Because up to this point, the Confederacy had been beating the North pretty badly, as far as if you were looking at it as a battle by battle. If you were just taking number of battles won,
right.
The South was winning the Civil War at the time. And Abraham Lincoln was fairly determined to use this occasion to help reinvigorate support for the war in the North.
Yeah, so Lee loses, retreats to Virginia on July 4th, and
he tried to resign because of it.
Yeah, he tried to. And Jefferson Davis said, no, thank you.
I got nobody better than you.
Yeah. He was not pursued, which was, Lincoln didn't like that, and other Northern generals did not like the fact that Meade didn't, put the pedal to the metal at that point.
Yeah, because he could have ended the war.
Yeah.
Conceivably. Had he taken out Lee's army, the rest of it, or captured him?
Yeah.
That would have been the end of the Civil War right there.
Yeah, true.
And this guy's sitting there getting his nails done, lollygagging.
So in the days following the Battle of Gettysburg, the Union soldiers were quickly buried, the ones that were immediately dead, in poorly marked paupers' graves, basically. Or maybe not paupers' graves, but not what they deserved as soldiers.
They were temporary graves.
Yeah.
They were battlefield graves.
And so this man named David Wills, he was an attorney in the area, said, you know what, we need to do this right. And he spearheaded the effort of the National cemetery with the Gettysburg Cemetery Commission.
It was the first Kickstarter.
It was.
Back in 1863.
So he said, you know what, there's this guy, Eddie Everett. You know him as Edward. He's sort of a rock star speaker.
Yeah, big time.
Former Secretary of State, former senator, president of Harvard College. This dude brings the house down. Let's get him in here.
Yeah.
Because this guy can go for like 2 hours straight without notes.
Without notes.
Yeah.
And just like the most flowery prose. And he remembered every word of it. 2-hour-long speeches.
Yeah.
That were just amazing speeches that held crowds enwrapped, and he had no notes in front of him.
Yeah, and so they agreed to delay it a little bit so he could be booked, because I guess he had another engagement.
No, he said, this is great, but I need more than a month to prepare a 2-hour
right.
speech. He wanted to do research. It was so soon after the war, or after the battle, that they dedicated it as a cemetery that the official accounts, or even like non-official accounts, hadn't really started to emerge yet. So he actually had to do his own interviews with people who were there to gather like the information he needed to do a great speech on it.
Well, yeah, because a large part of his speech was, like in our article, they said it was sort of like watching a TV.
Like Dateline or 48 Hours.
Yeah, he had to recap the battle for everyone.
Yeah.
Because, Twitter was down and no one knew what was going on.
And he had cred as a battlefield orator.
Yeah.
He'd given speeches at like Bunker Hill and Concord.
Uh-huh.
And actually when this guy came to town and spoke at your battlefield was world famous from that moment on. That's how big a deal Edward Everett was.
Yeah. In fact, he was so big of a deal, they waited, like we said, because he wasn't ready, and then said, oh, and let's also invite President Lincoln.
Right. So
to speak for a couple of minutes.
And apparently Lincoln took no offense to it. That was totally normal.
Yeah, sure.
At the time.
It was like a ceremonial thing.
It was. And this was being conducted by the state of Pennsylvania. So at the time, you didn't really expect much federal involvement or support, but they're like, no, this is a big enough deal. We want to invite the executive branch.
That is correct, sir.
Oh, you want to take a break real quick?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Learning stuff with Joshua and Charles. Stuff you should know.
Brought to you by the Spam brand.
Some foods or TV shows just instantly take you back to your childhood. Spam Classic is one of those foods.
It's so 90s, but also so iconic that the sight of it sizzling just makes your mouth water.
Back then, we had Spam Classic, but today, there are 12 irresistible varieties to choose from.
It's like picking your favorite Boy Meets World episode. Impossible. There's Korean barbecue flavored, jalapeno, and 25% less sodium, just to name a few.
Spam brand. Sizzle pork and
Learn more and get sizzling at spam.com.
Hey, it's us, the Jonas Brothers, and guess what? We have some big news.
What's the news, Nick?
Huge news. We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
We're the first people to do podcasts.
Pretty wide range of podcasts
starting a
out there.
trend.
But this one's extra special.
So how do we actually come up with the name Hey Jonas, guys? I honestly don't remember.
I think it was on a call about what we should call it, and
we were thinking originally calling it one of the early names of our band before Jonas Brothers.
Mm-hmm. This is how you guys remember it going down?
Yes.
I have a very different memory of this. We were talking about a bit for the podcast where people could call in and say, Hey Jonas, and then I wrote down on my little notepad, Hey Jonas, and offered it up as a potential title for the podcast. But thanks for remembering that, guys.
Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just listen. We don't care where you hear it.
All right, so Chuck, Lincoln actually was scheduled to leave at 6 a.m. the morning of the dedication ceremony, right?
Yes.
And he
get into town on the same day as the show.
Yeah, like noon.
Yes.
Which was plenty of time.
Something we don't even like to do when we have our shows.
So it's cutting a little close.
Yeah.
But it can be done, and he's the president, and he's got a war to conduct, so no one expected him to come in early. Lincoln actually overrode that schedule and said, no, I'm going in the day before. This is important. I don't want to miss it altogether because this is a town of 2,500, and they're expecting 15,000 people to come to this dedication ceremony.
Get me there early.
Right. So he left the day before.
Yeah.
And he was put up at that lawyer's house, Willis, I can't remember his first name, or Wills.
Is he the same Wills who wrote the thing?
No, he said no relation.
Oh, okay.
He's also not like a vampire.
Right.
He's still alive. He wrote the first-hand account.
No relation. It is me.
Right. But he spends the night at that lawyer's house, and there is this town is just packed. But the fact that Lincoln wanted to do this badly enough that he went early, shows that this meant something to him.
Yeah, and 15,000 people for back then, that's a large crowd.
Sure.
And I wondered how in the world, who hears this thing? The first, 50 feet of people?
That was apparently another advantage of Lincoln's shrill voice, is that he could project it really far.
Yeah, but not to 15,000. Come on.
I don't know. I would imagine that they had better hearing back then because they had to, and because they had fewer artificial devices that were damaging their hearing. Probably.
I think with everything,
I just totally made that up.
It extends it a few more feet, but I imagine 10,000 of those 15 were just partying.
What do you say? Hey,
or maybe it's like a Monty Python skit, and they're relaying it back, and it changes each time.
Like an Occupy Wall Street thing.
Yeah.
So he gets there the day before, and he was quite right. There were plenty of dignitaries that were supposed to be there that waited to leave that morning and didn't. They missed the whole thing because they were just late.
Yeah.
So the day of the thing, the dedication, Everett gives his speech, and it brings the house down. It's exactly what everybody expects.
Yeah, and the guy who wrote this article pointed out that I would have been bored to tears for a 2-hour speech, but apparently at the time that was like entertainment. People were crazy for the stuff.
Yeah.
The longer the better.
Yeah, she said that they had a much longer attention span because they hadn't been corrupted by television.
Yeah, that's a bit of a leap, but sure.
It makes sense, though.
Yeah.
Remember Short Attention Span Theater on Comedy Central?
I do.
That was great.
Indeed.
So Lincoln gives his speech, and a lot of hay has been made over the last century or century and a half of the difference in length between Lincoln's statement, Lincoln's address, and Everett's address.
Uh-huh.
But it's there's really no point in comparing them in that sense. No one expected Lincoln to speak for a very long time. They expected him to dedicate the thing with some short remarks, and that Everett was going to give a 2-hour speech. So this didn't surprise anybody at the time. It just seems like in retrospect, when you compare the two and the power and the everlastingness of the two speeches, that it's wow, he did this in only 2 minutes, where Everett took 2 hours.
Yeah.
I think,
but like you said, two different things.
Yeah, but it's a myth that it was people were I can't believe that was so short.
Right.
That's all they were expecting.
Yeah, agreed. And in fact, it was so short. Here's a nice little tidbit. I thought the official photographer for the event, it takes a minute to get things set up when you're taking pictures back then. You're not just snapping away. And he took these pictures of Everett and was getting ready to take pictures of Lincoln, and then got everything set, and Lincoln is walking off with the mic drop, basically.
That may be a myth as well.
I think it's a great story.
It is a fantastic story. There's a ton of great stories out of here. He wrote the thing on the back of an envelope on the train ride there.
Supposedly not true.
No, because he was very well known as he was a practiced orator. He's a lawyer to start out with. He apparently poured over his speeches.
Sure.
So the fact that he went a day early to this, and he decided he wanted to use this occasion to help drum up support for the war.
Yeah.
He almost certainly wrote at least a draft in Washington before he left.
Yeah, that's what they think, is that he wrote most of it, if not all of it, and then continued to work on it on the train.
Right.
But I don't think there was ever an envelope involved.
No.
Correct?
I don't think so.
He had his traveling secretary, or his full-time secretary with him.
Mm-hmm. John Hay.
Yeah, John Hay. Ran it by him, I guess.
Yeah.
And
Hay was like, bravo, boss. Bravo.
You're wonderful.
Another great one.
And he went, thank you.
And then they sipped their tea in stony silence for the rest of the train ride. They had a weird relationship.
So should we read this thing?
Oh, also, this is where, that whole thing was like, was Abraham Lincoln gay? He shared a bed with a man.
I've never heard that.
Oh, yeah. There was a very well-read biography that came out years back, in the 2000s sometime, on Abraham Lincoln, really popular.
Yeah.
And in it, the biographer's talking about how, I think at the Gettysburg Address, he shared a bed with a man.
Uh-huh.
And one of the reasons why, the reason why, was because the town was
His feet got cold?
packed. Right. The town was so packed that even the President of the United States had to share a bed with somebody because there was just nowhere else for people to be. The guy who designed the cemetery had to sleep sitting up in somebody's front room in a chair that night, the night before the dedication, because the town was so packed to the gills. But there was this whole was Abraham Lincoln gay?
Was it an entire book?
Not about him being gay.
Oh, okay.
It was mentioned in that people read the book and then started talking about whether he was gay.
Gotcha. Because my book would say, was President Lincoln gay? And you would open it up and it said, who cares?
Right.
The end.
It would be like, why did they print 1,000 blank pages after that? Civil War book.
Yeah, exactly. It's got to be 4 inches thick. Yeah. And they make great doorstops.
Yeah.
Should we read this thing in full?
Yeah, with a little music, maybe something patriotic.
Yeah, I think we should split it in half though, as we do with our Halloween readings.
Okay.
Should we? What are we going with here? Yakety sax?
I think we used
spooky
that
Halloween
one up
music.
already.
O Tannenbaum?
Ooh, O Tannenbaum would be good.
All right. Well, we'll see. This is Jerry's choice.
Jerry, surprise us.
Do you want to start or finish?
I will start because I have a feeling you're going to do better than me.
Is that better to finish then?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, go ahead.
Fourscore.
No, that's not right. Just kidding. Sorry.
77 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that this nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But, in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. The brave men, living and dead, who struggled here, have consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract.
That was wonderful.
It was okay.
All right, I'm going to bring it home. Should I do it in high pitch? No.
That's why I figured I should go first.
Bring in the helium. Here we go. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work, which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us, that from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. That we here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain, that this nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
Boom.
Abe out, and he dropped his mic.
It really is. The modern description of this speech is that it's a mic drop.
Yeah. 272, 273, depends on what version you're looking at. Words. Under 2 minutes is all he needed.
Under 2 minutes, and he was even interrupted with applause 5 times.
Oh, really?
And it still only took 2 minutes. And when he said this, Chuck, when he gave this speech, it was totally in contrast with the way politicians or any orator at the time spoke.
Yeah.
The 2-hour spiel that Everett gave.
Yeah, a lot of rah-rah stuff.
That was the standard stuff. Flowery language, lots of lofty rhetoric.
Well, admonishing the Confederacy.
Yeah.
Admonishing, is that the right word?
Sure.
Yeah. Just a really kind of a rabble-rousing type of thing.
But the idea that a politician would get up and give a plain-spoken speech was knew as of the moment Abraham Lincoln gave the Gettysburg Address. The guy, the author Gary Wills, the historian, not the lawyer who set the whole thing up, allegedly, not the same guy. He points out that Everett, what's his first name? Edward Everett gave his speech at the last moment in history when it was customary to give a speech like that.
Oh, wow.
Because Abraham Lincoln got on stage right after that and changed it forever in the opposite direction. And they say that he changed American speech for not just like speaking, not just oration, but also writing. And that Mark Twain's modern novel, Huckleberry Finn, the first modern novel, followed in the footsteps of the Gettysburg Address, or the way of speaking and talking that Lincoln laid down in the Gettysburg Address. Like, he just changed everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's take another break, because I have to reflect on that. You just laid down some heavy stuff.
Okay.
And we'll finish up after this.
Learning stuff with Joshua and Charles. Stuff you should know.
Brought to you by the Spam brand.
Some foods or TV shows just instantly take you back to your childhood. Spam Classic is one of those foods.
It's so 90s, but also so iconic that the sight of it sizzling just makes your mouth water.
Back then, we had Spam Classic, but today, there are 12 irresistible varieties to choose from.
It's like picking your favorite Boy Meets World episode. Impossible. There's Korean barbecue flavored, jalapeno, and 25% less sodium, just to name a few.
Spam brand. Sizzle pork and
Learn more and get sizzling at spam.com.
Hey, it's us, the Jonas Brothers, and guess what? We have some big news.
What's the news, Nick?
Huge news. We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just
We're
contributed
the
to
first people to do podcasts.
pretty wide range of
We're
podcasts
starting
that
a
are out there.
trend.
But this one's extra special.
So how did we actually come up with the name Hey Jonas, guys? I honestly don't remember.
I think it was on a call about what we should call it. And
Well, we were thinking originally calling it one of the early names of our band before Jonas Brothers.
This is how you guys remember it going down?
Yes.
I have a very different memory of this. We were talking about a bit for the podcast where people could call in and say, Hey Jonas. And then I wrote down on my little notepad, Hey Jonas, and offered it up as a potential title for the podcast. But thanks for remembering that, guys.
Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just listen. We don't care where you hear it.
Stuff you should know.
Speech changer.
It was.
That's what you said.
It was a speech changer.
And it was amazing. And whoever wrote our article, who was that?
Tiffany Connor.
Oh, Tiffany Connor. She's great. She points out that it was a time when they were starting to send messages via telegraph.
Yeah.
So that also tied in that people were trying to get to the point a little quicker, I think, because of the telegraph. And
you start talking to somebody, just snap your fingers, like, come on.
Yeah.
Out with it.
Like you're sending a telegraph
It's
and
a
you're
very
like,
rude time.
Gentlemen, on this day, and they're like, all right, yeah. We know what day it is.
I need to go to the bathroom is what I'm trying to say.
So they were just striving for a more concise language, and I think Lincoln really put he dotted the I.
Maybe even crossed the T as well.
Yeah, and said this is the better way to talk. And it sounds even a little flowery to us, but we should have read parts of Everett's speech.
Yeah.
That's where we failed.
We failed pretty badly.
All right, so what else was different about it? It was a pretty radical idea at the time because what he kind of did with his speech, well, not what he kind of did, what he very much did was say, let's take a big picture view of this thing. And they point out he doesn't talk about slavery or the Confederate Army or the Union Army. He talks about things in very broad terms and basically says, you know what? The Declaration of Independence was the bomb. That was the deal, the real deal.
Right.
And the Constitution is the means by which we serve that document.
Yeah.
Because at the time there were Southerners going, well, slavery is not even in the Constitution.
Right.
Thing.
It was very much, if not that the Constitution was the guiding document of the United States government, then at least no one was saying the Declaration of Independence was. Lincoln was basically saying with this speech, he was reframing it. He was saying, no, it's the Declaration of Independence laid out the ideals. The Constitution is just the vehicle you use to get to those ideals. And let's all remember that in the Declaration of Independence, it talks about all men being created equal.
Right.
And in today's modern world, we're just going to substitute men with humans.
Yeah, and even at the time, it was obviously people weren't so far along that Lincoln was like, and slaves should be completely equal to us starting today. Like, it was even a process for the North,
right,
to bring about equality over time.
Mm-hmm.
But just the notion that everyone is born and deserves equality was a radical idea.
For sure.
At the time.
Yeah. And so, I mean, it's really worth, as I was researching this, I had to go back and reread the address a couple of times. And once I did, it really started to sink in.
Yeah, me too.
Finally now, in almost my 40th year on this planet, I can understand the Gettysburg Address.
Yeah.
I should not be teaching this to school children. It's totally meaningless to them.
Yeah, or break it down sentence by sentence and really explain it.
Sure, okay. Now, if you have the Dead Poet Society teacher.
Yeah.
Or,
Oh, Captain, My Captain.
Who was the guy that Matthew Perry played? Ron somebody?
Chandler Bing.
Chandler Bing was a different role.
Oh.
This is a teacher, like a really inspirational teacher named
Ron
Ron something. Yeah, yeah.
No, you're thinking of Edward James
Olmos. That was the Milagro Beanfield War. No, Stand and Deliver. No, that was La Bamba. So, man, we got off track.
Oh.
What was my point?
That Matthew Perry was the best friend.
Oh, that, like, this doesn't mean anything to school children, but one of the reasons why is not because it's above their heads.
Yeah.
Because this is the way we see America now. But the reason we see America and American government and the idea that it's by the people, of the people, for the people, and that people are created equal, and that is the ideals of the founding fathers were laid out in the Declaration of Independence, and that's the true guiding document. The reason we see these things is because of the Gettysburg Address. In these 272-ish words, he changed the way that all Americans from that point forward saw America. And as a matter of fact, again, Gary Wills points out that prior to the Gettysburg Address, people referred to the United States in the plural form. Like, the United States are a great place to visit. Afterward,
like a collection of states.
Yes. Yeah. And afterward, it became single and unified and a singular noun. The United States is a great place to visit. That came after the Gettysburg Address.
Except for these states.
Right. Steer clear of these.
I had a great Shakespeare teacher in college that, man, I wish I could remember his name because I would shout him out. But he, Shakespeare's tough for most people. He literally, every day in class, we would sit down. I think we went through like 3 plays a year or a quarter in one class. And we would just read the thing. And he would stop about every 30 seconds and say, here's what that means. Here's what he's saying.
Yeah.
And we would go, oh, that's what that means. Then we would read the next section. Someone would read it. He'd go, here's what that means. He's really saying, and he would really put it in like,
that's great,
terms college kids can understand. Like, when your friend does this and blah, blah, blah. That's what's happening here with Horatio.
Right.
And, it was just like, it blew my mind because we all left with complete full understanding of like 3 plays at a time.
That's so neat.
And would scramble to like sign up for his Shakespeare 2 class.
Wow. Because
he was so awesome. And I don't know, it seems like such an effective way to teach when you're talking about these old languages. You can sit around and read Chaucer all day.
Oh, man.
But unless someone's explaining like what it means, because these stories are wonderful,
right,
amazing stories.
Well, Chaucer in particular too.
Yeah, but if you don't get it, it's not hitting home.
Right.
You gotta like liken it to something that they identify with.
Yeah, or basically completely master Old or Middle English.
Yeah, well, who wants to do that?
Right. That's neat, man. I wish you could remember the guy's name. Is it Mr. Ames?
No.
Mr. Barr?
I think it was
Mr. Carr?
Dr. Bing.
That's okay.
So these days, the Gettysburg Address, there are a few different versions of it. There are at least 5, they believe, versions. And I think 2 of them now, actually written down versions, are at the Library of Congress. Are they on display? They're probably on display, right?
Sure. Or you can just be like, let me see one of the Gettysburg addresses, and they'll run off and get it.
Yeah.
You just got to put a 50 in their front pocket.
So you can actually look at these, and they're mostly the same, except for just some little revisions here and there that he made.
I guess post
speech.
address.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he knew the document would live on.
Sure.
Yeah.
And if they had drafts, this confused me for a second, but I had to wrap my head around it. If he had drafts before, then it would have proven unequivocally that he had written it before he was on the train.
Right.
But the fact that that myth is still around is because there's no fact to counterbalance it. So that means that all the drafts came after. There were copies that he made.
Right.
Okay.
That I imagine his secretary wrote down himself.
I think he gave him some to him, but yeah, I'm sure John Hay was responsible for it. But John Hay had one that is in the Library of Congress, right?
Yeah, but it's funny that you don't think about like, I need like 4 copies of this, so start writing.
Right.
Get out the pen.
And would it kill you to draw some rabbits doing some weird things in the margins?
So what about the reaction? I think there's been a lot of disagreement depending on who you talk to. Some people say in the moment at the place, it wasn't super well received, but other people are saying like, nah, that's a myth.
Yeah, apparently it's another big myth that especially he walked off and was like, man, they really hated that.
I blew it.
Yeah. He knew that it did exactly what he wanted it to.
Yeah.
He wanted to drop the mic and he did. And supposedly the crowd was pretty happy with it.
And people are like, why did he drop that corn cob on his way off the stage?
Why was he talking into it the whole time?
It's so weird.
And why did it amplify his voice? That was the most surprising part. Well, who cares if they liked it or not at the time? We love it now.
Yeah, go crazy over it.
Sure. Clearly, we've been like breathlessly talking about how great the Gettysburg Address is this whole time. We haven't even entertained the other side, that it sucked.
You know what else we didn't do was the very thing we said it would be a great way to teach people. We should have read it and after every few sentences broken down what it meant.
That's not our job.
All right, we're not going to do all the work.
Do you want to?
No.
Okay. Well, we'll let the teachers do it.
Yeah, I encourage, should be in classrooms. Did we say anything really bad in this one?
Yeah, this is a teaching aid. Watch this. Turn record over now. Bing! Remember that?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. If you want to know more about the Gettysburg Address, ask your teacher. And you can also go on to our great website, howstuffworks.com, and type in Gettysburg Address. No H at the end. We're not in Scotland.
Nope.
And since I said Scotland, it's time for listener mail.
By the way, quickly, after the other day talking about the rules on sushi, I went and watched it again like 3 times.
Yeah, I still haven't seen it. Did you watch Bag Boy that one listener wrote in about?
No, I still didn't see that one.
I looked it up. I have it sitting on a Google search. I just haven't had time to give any attention to it. Maybe in the fall.
I remember what it was specifically about it that really killed me is that he says shushi instead of sushi. And he intros saying like, we have a chef here to make some delicious shushi sandwiches. Shushi sandwiches.
I love that guy.
All right, this is from, I know you remember Kathleen of Cooper Katz, the PR agency.
Oh, yeah, our former PR agency.
Yes, many years ago, we farmed out our PR to this great company in New York, Cooper Katz. Mm-hmm. And Kathleen worked there, still does. Mm-hmm. And she was awesome and super nice.
Right.
And she wrote this in about something she's working on that's dear to her heart, which I think is pretty important. Hey, guys. And she had some nice things to say early on.
Flowery rhetoric, like Edward Everett.
Just catching up with us, but I won't bore you with that. Hey guys, it wasn't boring to us, by the way. I just don't want to, hey guys, I was writing because of one of our clients nowadays is Memorial Sloan Kettering Cancer Center. They're the oldest and largest private cancer center in the U.S., and we're beginning a big public awareness / press push around misconceptions and misperceptions and myths about clinical trials that people have about them. While this is for a client, it's really important to me. I've learned a lot of things. One, only 4% of patients participate in clinical trials. 4%.
Wow.
That's alarmingly low.
Yeah.
Even though they're at the root of every current and future advance in treatment. People have negative impressions of clinical trials, and that changes as soon as they learn more about them. Other things I learned through my work with MSK, Things I learned about my work with Memorial Sloan Kettering I had no idea about before the trials. They are not just for last resorts, clinical trials. Many of the best treatments are offered early in treatment through clinical trial participation. Clinical trials are much more targeted today through genetic screening, tumor testing, and precision medicine. Doctors have a much better grasp of what works and what will not. Almost no clinical trials for cancer involve placebos, though most people are concerned about this.
I want the drug.
Yeah.
Yeah. TS.
Yeah, exactly. And cost is a huge concern for people thinking about enrolling, and yet almost all out-of-pocket costs for treatment are covered. So that is from Kathleen.
Yeah.
And
she makes some good points there, Chuck.
She does. I never really thought about it.
I think we just got PR'd.
I think we did. P.S. If you happen to need a good cry, Memorial Sloan Kettering, and I do not, by the way, Kathleen, they just wrapped up a 2-week partnership with Humans of New York. You ever go to that website?
Yeah.
Man, they're great. It's an incredible photo documentary of the world of pediatric cancer. Ugh.
Jeez.
So many of the miracles documented were a result of clinical trials, which is why I'm so passionate about pushing this information. And Kathleen just had her second little baby.
Oh, congratulations,
And
Kathleen.
important stuff. So look into clinical trials, and maybe we should do a show on them one day.
We definitely should.
Yeah.
I really am surprised that we haven't already. Have we not?
No,
I know we did one
touched
on
it.
human experimentation, but we probably talked more about the sordid side of it, like vivisection and
more
stuff.
the gruesome.
Oh, yeah, we
trepanation.
did. And we talked about, the regulations on people who are human guinea pigs.
Yeah.
We'll do one on clinical trials.
Yeah. So that's awesome, Kathleen. It's cool when you can do work that you can PR with a good feeling, and we're sorry about our PR episode.
I'm not. I stand by that.
No, I think it was a great episode, but it probably should have been called The Legend of Edward Bernays and less This is what PR is like.
It was a fun episode, wasn't it?
It really was.
If you want to know more about us, you can hang out with us on Twitter at SYSK Podcast. Same goes for Instagram, where you can see pictures of our pets and stuff like that. You can also hang out with us on Facebook at facebook.com/stuffyoushouldknow. And you can send us emails to stuffpodcast@howstuffworks.com. Lastly, hang out with us at our home on the web, our playhouse for the internet, stuffyoushouldknow.com.
For more on this and thousands of other topics, visit howstuffworks.com.
Brought to you by the Spam brand.
Some foods or TV shows just instantly take you back to your childhood. Spam Classic is one of those foods.
It's so 90s, but also so iconic that the sight of it sizzling just makes your mouth water.
Back then, we had Spam Classic, but today, there are 12 irresistible varieties to choose from.
It's like picking your favorite Boy Meets World episode. Impossible. There's Korean barbecue flavored, jalapeno, and 25% less sodium, just to name a few.
Spam brand. Sizzle pork and
Learn more and get sizzling at spam.com.
Hey guys, it's us, the Jonas Brothers. I'm Joe.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Nick. And guess what? We created our own podcast called Hey Jonas.
We invented a podcast?
Well, we didn't invent it. We just contributed to it.
First people to do podcasts.
We get to ask other people questions because we're sick and tired of being asked questions.
Well, sick and tired is a strong way to put it, but
Tired and sick.
Tired and sick.
Listen to Hey Jonas on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts. Just listen. We don't care where you hear it.
This is an iHeart podcast. Guaranteed human.